Hey there, sorry here. Not much else going on this week, so I decided to work on a different Clash of Wills clear team for another rank 1 clear strategy. And I decided to go Ice Element on this one. And I've been working on this one today, and I think I've got it all figured out. So let's get in here and see how we're gonna do this. All right, go ahead and turn on all the modifiers. Alright, so here's the team. So obviously if you pulled an Ayaka last month, you'll want to pull her out again for this Clash of Wills. She's very, very strong on this one because the boss is weak to ice, and she does have the nice 100% party amps for Ice Element. So, you know, those are very, very strong. You know, any unit that brings a 100% party amp, you definitely want to bring them along because they're going to make life a lot easier for you. So Ayaka's there to provide that, as well as some solid damage. I finally got my A2 to EX2. She'd been sitting in the Shard dungeon for a while, so I decided to just, you know, finally bring her off the bench. You know, I know she gets a lot of hate, and for good reason, but she is pretty useful on this particular cow because she's got beast killers in their kit. So, and by that I just mean like innate beast killers. So she's easy to build for this particular one, and she is very, very strong. So, you know, you can't discount that. She's just kind of clunky to use, but with this strategy that that I put together, she's fairly easy to use. And so we've also got Kaito in there. He's going to help us get rid of those defense and spirit buffs after we pass the 50% threshold. You see we've got Neovision Awakened Charlotte. So she is going to be our tank, and she's literally just going to be re-raising through all the damage here. So she's nice because she can dual cast her cover and a self re-raise every turn, and that's basically what she's going to be doing, except for every now and then she's going to be using Calamity Border for some morale fill, and that's about all she's going to do. Of course, we've got Frievia. You may be thinking double breaker, what's going on? Well, Frievia is really more here for the ice amps. She will do a little bit of damage as well, so she's not going to slouch there, but Kaito is going to be the main breaker, so to speak. All right, and then of course Chizuru. Chizuru is still just a fantastic unit. Love her. So much awesome support in her kit, and she's going to be bringing up the beast killers for the team on this one. And so yeah. Pretty solid team here. I think I've got this worked out. Definitely some room for some swaps, but I'll talk about that at the end. If everything is successful, I'll go over the gear. I'll talk about swaps and things like that once we're all said and done here. So let's go ahead and get in there and see how we get this done. Alright, so you see we got a lot of morale fill at the beginning. Morale is probably the biggest issue with this team. Like, if you had Chow is probably the most obvious swap for Charlotte. You can use Chow very similar to the way I'm going to use Charlotte in this particular case, where he just kind of re-raises through all the damage, and while at the same time doing a lot more morale fill than Charlotte's going to do. Alright, so to start off, Charlotte is going to just do Knight's Voice. So this is what does the provoke and the re-raise to herself for 3 turns. Knight's Voice and Evil Warding Shield, which is a magic cover. Okay, she'll go and do that. Ayaka's just going to do her LB. That way we get that nice 60 times mod boost to all of her abilities for the remainder of the fight. Frievia is going to do Aurora Key Pressure, Unguard, and Flick. Kaito is just going to do, we'll just do, actually no, I had something different set up, but we're just going to do triple deep submersion. Okay. Alright, Chizuru will do strong samurai, staunch samurai, and focused strength. That way we get the mirage stacks for this first turn. We're not going to need Mirage anymore for the remainder of the fight because everyone is 50% is built for at least 50% evasion, and starting next turn, the boss is going to have a 50% accuracy down thanks to Kaito, and thus all of those rabbit kicks are going to miss our party every time. Okay. And A2 is just going to do morale fill with offensive heal combo. All right, there you go. Charlotte dies, re-raises, so she does need to. She does have guts innate in her kit, so you don't really have to worry about that. So she always guts as the first hit, dies on the second one, re-raises. It's also nice because that means all of her imperils are gone. So she's only built for 200% fire and 200% dark resist. That's all you need, because you have to take 100 off for the modifiers, the bonus modifiers. All right, once again, Knight's Voice, Evil Warding Shield. All right, Ayaka can now do all of her little setup skills here. Actually, she's just going to do Introduction, Spirit of the Season, and then double Carol of Frosty Snow. All right, Fry is going to shift. We'll do Aurora Key, Frost Blossom, and then just triple Azure Riposte. There we go. Kaito will now do Torrential Downpour because this is important for that 50% accuracy reduction. You see, it also gives a nice 200% Demon Killer to the whole party, which is very nice. Alright, and then another Double Deep Submersion to build up some morale. Alright, Chizuru will do Beast Pulverizer. A2 will A2 on this turn is going to do Resolute Mind, okay? So I have that special vision card that came out earlier this month, the Laswell vision card that does the ramping ice amp. And so A2 is going to use this so that on turn 4, when she's ready to use her Hateful Blade, she will have a 100% ice amp. All right, so she's going to start that on this turn. Okay. And we should be good to go. All right, so you see our morale fill is kind of slow, but we'll get there. We'll get there. By the time we get to our damage cap turn, which is going to be turn 8, we should have 200% morale. All right, so this turn, Charlotte gets a turn to actually do something, so she's going to use Calamity Border, and this is going to be a big morale booster. I want you to watch the morale bar when I do this. Boom, look at that. Nice big morale fill there. All right, that way she's not slouching. All right, now we're going to do quad. We'll do Carol of the Frosty Snow. Actually, no, I'm not going to do quad because I don't want the chain to break. That's right. So we'll just do triple Carol because I need Fryevia to shift on this turn, and I gave her 10,000 needles in her Brave Shift form. She's going to cast that. All right, because we need 1 stack of Mirage for the AoE physical that's going to come in because it is very strong and has like 200% accuracy on it. So we have to Mirage that. All right, Kaito is, so we don't have our Deadly Stream yet. That's okay. We'll get it when it's important. We'll do another Torrential Downpour because I want to make sure that those killers are up and ready on turn 5. All right, and then another Double Deep Submersion. All right, Chizuru is going to shift. All right, she's going to do Dedicated Samurai Slash. A2 is going to do triple offensive heal. We're just trying to build up lots of morale here. All right, so we'll do Kaito, Ayaka, A2, Chizuru. All right, that's putting us in good position. We should definitely push the 75% threshold next turn, which we absolutely have to do. All right, so there is that Miraging that AoE physical. All right, Charlotte's gonna die, no problem. Re-raise, good to go. Now, of course, every time she dies, that does impact our morale quite a bit, but I've found that if you have enough good morale gen for the party, then you should be good to go. All right, so she needs to set up her re-raise and cover again. All right, Ayaka is just going to do quad Carol of the Frosty Snow. All right, Fryevia is going to do Whipped Cream, so she's obviously wearing Ayaka's vision card so that she gets that nice, strong quad bolting strike chain magic attack. Kaito is going to do his LB. Chizuru will do her LB, and A2 will do Hateful Blade. All right, this should definitely push us past 75% and will hopefully put us pretty close to 60, if not below 60%. And that should put us in good position to then push the 50% threshold on turn 5. All right, so let's go. %, yep, that's pretty typical, so that's good. Okay. All right, so now Fry is going to shift. Okay, she's going to do her setup again, so she's good for the rest of the fight. Kaito will just do Deadly Stream, Natural Flux, and Deep Submersion. Alright, Chizuru is going to do Devastating so that she has her LB filled. That's going to be important for when we come back on turn 8. And then we will do a double offensive and a finisher. Okay? If your team's not quite as strong, you might want your A2 to do a triple finisher here. But I found that doing a double offensive heal for the morale fill followed up by a finisher is usually enough to push the 50% threshold on this turn. Alright, and then Charlotte's just going to do what she does best. Knight's Voice, Evil Warning Shield. Ayaka. Alright, she will do her triple bolting strike. And we'll go ahead and do, I'm pretty sure this should last us the rest of the battle. So we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. Because I don't have anybody to quad cast with her. Okay. Alright. And now, if you don't push the 50% threshold on this turn, it's not the end of the world. There's a little bit of cushion here. You can push it on turn 6. And maybe that works better for you because then that gives you an extra turn to sort of build up some morale. Alright, so don't sweat it too much if you don't push 50% on this turn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and send Hei'er first. Okay, should be good to go then. There we go. Looking good. Yeah, boss heals up. Alright, you see we don't need any Mirage for those rabbit fury kicks or whatever they're called anymore. Alright, Charlotte, we're just starting over again. Charlotte's going to Knight's Voice, Evil Warding. Alright, Ayaka is going to go ahead and set up the presence for everyone. Alright, we want to go ahead and do that because we want that 100% ice amp to be ready on turn 8. Okay, and then we can just do triple Carol of the Frosty Snow. Why not? Okay. Fryevi will come back and do Aurora Key and triple Azure Riposte. Alright, Chizuru is going to do Strong Samurai Staunch. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, that is what I want to do. Strong Samurai, Staunch Samurai, and we could do... I guess we could do Eastern Winds. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter what we do on this, on our fourth action there. Alright, A2 is going to... Oh, she's going to do her SLB. So even if your A2 was like EX +1, she could potentially do this strategy. She might not be strong enough, but she could potentially do it. Alright, and our Kaito, he'll do Torrential Downpour, Unpredictable Tide, because that's what's going to get rid of the defense and spirit buffs for us, so that we are ready to take this thing down on turn 8. And Deep Submersion. Actually, I tell you what, let's do our morale fill before we do anything else. So unpredictable tide, double deep submersion. We'll worry about the killers next turn. The killers and the breaks and all that stuff. All right, so I think that should pretty much do it. Yeah. Okay. Now we don't want to do a whole heap of damage here because we'd like to get it close to 50% without going over. I'm pretty sure if I just chain up these Ayaka and Fry, that should do it for us. Yeah, that should be fine. And this way we don't have to bother like trying to line up A2's SLB because, yeah, I mean, that delay is just stupid. Like the worst design. So you can see we're pretty close to 200%, which is good. All right, we're definitely going to hit that 200% on this one. All right, Charlotte can do Calamity Border this turn. She gets a chance to do that. Ayaka's going to do her SLB. Fry is going to do, we'll just do the Aurora Key, double riposte, and insistence for the buff, or for the mag store. Chizuru is going to do Tyvus' Spirit. Kaito can now set up Torrential Downpour. Oh, seriously? He's got insufficient MP? Oh my gosh, that hasn't happened to me yet. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, I think Fry can take care of that. Yeah, Fry can do MP for all allies. I knew there was a reason why I kept Fry around. All right, Aurora Key. We'll do double Azure Remise. That should be enough. That's 200 MP. And that should be enough for him to do all the, yeah, plenty. Perfect. All right. Aurora Key, double Azure Remise, and Azure Key Insistence. All right, so now Kaito can do Torrential, Deadly Stream, Natural Flux. Okay. Chizuru does Tyvus' Spirit. And A2. Make sure I just set that up right. Offensive Heal, and then your hot type A for the mod boost to her Hateful Blade. All right. Now on this turn, we don't have any kind of Mirage for the AoE physical, so everyone has at least one form of Guts so that they can survive the AoE physical on this turn. All right. There you go. Everybody gutsed. Charlotte's gonna die. And that's okay. All right, so this is it. This is it, right? Moment of truth. Okay. So I've been doing like a ridiculous amount over the damage cap on this one. So I feel pretty safe that we're going to kill on this turn. If your team's not quite as strong, you might not kill, but that's okay. You've got 2 more turns to finish it off. And you just keep following the same rotation that you've been seeing. So you see we've got all of our imperils and breaks are in place, and it has no buffs. So this thing is going to take maximum damage. All right, so we've got Hateful Blade. Chizuru can shift and do her Brave Shifted LB. Fryevia will do Whipped Cream. Cheerful Ayaka will do Finale. And Kaito can do Great Wave Assault. All right. So this should be the end of the boss. Let's see how we go. So I'll do Ayaka and Fry first, and then I'll do Kaito, Chizuru, A2. Boom. There it is. I've been doing over 3 billion with this team on this turn pretty consistently. Yep, 3.2. That's pretty consistent with what I've gotten in my test runs. So way overkill. So like if your team's not as strong, I think you'll be just fine. All right, ice is a really, really strong element on this particular Clash of Wills. So if you've got the team for it, you got the units, you got Ayaka, definitely go for it. Ice makes this one way, way easier, and especially if you bring Kaito. So there's the damage spread. You see Ayaka and Chizuru out damaging A2, which is just nuts, but you know, it is what it is. But A2 definitely brought it. All right, so A2 brought some significant damage. Couldn't have done it without her. All right. Let's see what we got. Nothing I want. Alright, so let's take a look at the team real quick. Alright, so Charlotte, yeah, she's just evade provoke. She's got to have at least 200% fire and dark resist, and that's all you really need. You see I gave her Sylvie's card for the morale gen every turn. I should have given her oh man, I should have given her, what's his name? I should have made her dual wield with like that dagger, what's the Crimson Butterfly, so that she could dual wield, and then she would generate that morale twice every turn. I did not think of that until now, but that would have helped out with the morale generation, so make your Charlotte dual wield with a Crimson Butterfly in there, and you should be just fine. All right. But that's really all she needs, okay? She's pretty simple setup. Kaito is, he is built for damage, but, you know, as you can see, he's not really doing too much. You can kind of ignore a lot of this gear. He's not really contributing that much damage. He's just there for the support more than anything, so build him however you want. You know, if you can build him better than this, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. He is maxed out on everything, Demon and Beast, and LB damage, but yeah, as you can see, he didn't really contribute much. A2, I do have her maxed out as much as I could get her here with the Dark Visions Katana. If you don't have it, you know, don't sweat it too much. As you can see, we did way overkill, so it's not necessary, but it is definitely the best weapon for her. If you have 2B, 2B is a much better slot in here, just an easier unit to use, but you know, I've never used my A2s before, so I wanted to give her a shot. All right, but this is the gear that we used to get the results that you saw, and obviously, yeah, that Laswell Vision card, hopefully you picked that up. If you didn't, you might still be able to do it. I honestly don't know. You might still be able to do it even without that card, but yeah, I'll leave that up to you to figure that out. She is maxed out on everything, Beast and Demon. Don't care about LB damage, which is kind of nice. Don't have to worry about building that in. Ayaka, yeah, this is, you know, nothing too crazy here, actually. I didn't go super nuts on my Ayaka here, as you can see. Even have a missing slot there, I didn't even realize that. She's pretty easy to build for this fight because she's got lots of Beast and Demon Killer innately. She does have the special Ayaka VC, but it's not necessary. There's nothing on here that you absolutely need for this fight. I think it just has some Demon Killers on it, which makes it a little bit easier to build. And yeah, make sure you're looking at the magic column because she is a pure mage, so 300% magic beast and magic demon killer. So again, fairly easy to gear, which is nice. Frievia, yeah, so she does have the Dark Visions sword, but yeah, I mean, you know, she's not one of the primary damage dealers here, as you can see. So that is not required, that Dark Vision sword that you see there, but I did try to give her a decent amount of gear so that she wasn't too much of a slouch. She does need Ayaka's vision card so that she can chain with Ayaka. That's pretty important. And as you can see, 300 Beast, 300 Demon, ready to rock and roll. In her Brave Shift form, she does have the Empress's Rod and the Treasured Memorial Ring for that turn 1 LB fill, or not LB, morale fill. All right, 10,000 needles for that one turn that we needed that one stack of Mirage. All right. Chizuru is, most important thing is, I gave her Wilk's Vision card for morale generation, and so on that one turn that everybody gutsed out, you have to give her a form of guts because she usually gets guts from her own vision card, but if you don't put her own vision card on her, she has no guts in her kit. So that's why she's got lucid lenses here for the guts on that one turn that we needed everybody to guts out. Wilk's Vision card for the morale fill and just a high attack vision card. Tyvus' Spirit in her normal form. Otherwise, she doesn't really need all this gear. But in her Brave Shift form, she does need all the damage gear that you have, so gave her, you know, some of my best Cal gear. And then killers and LB damage to max her out. So she is good to go. 300 to beast, 300 demon, 300 LB damage on that one. All right. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely pull Chizuru out if you had a 2B and you wanted to do like a 2B and an A2 combo. That would be very, very strong in this one. If you don't have A2 but you have a 2B, definitely throw 2B in A2's slot. 2B will be very, very strong here as well. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Kaito, he's a pretty tough one to replace because he rolls back those defense and spirit buffs. And so for this one, you know, you can't really work this strategy without Kaito. He's probably one of the only unreplaceable units if you want to replicate this strategy precisely. NVA Charlotte, definitely replaceable with someone like Chow or like Cecil. If you brought Cecil in, he would be really, really great. He's a great slot in NVA Charlotte's place. But as you can see, she did just fine. All right, so she did very, very well. Can't really replace Freya easily on this one. I mean, you could potentially... I mean, I guess you could potentially put Bulwark in there, but I don't know that that would really work all that well. But you could try Bulwark in place of Freya. All right, so there's a lot of options there. Anyways, hope this was helpful to you guys. Hopefully those of you still struggling with this event, maybe you see this, maybe this helps you get your rank 1. Yeah, otherwise, if you have any other clears or teams you want me to try, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will see you on the other side.